Hello, everyone. This is Sanisha from Juice Wealthy on episode 3 of the Random Health Thoughts podcast. Today, I wanted to talk more about my recent post on Instagram about juicing is not a miracle. And one of the reasons why I've decided to post that is because I've been getting a lot of questions from people, from clients that actually think that juicing is like a magic pill that they take and all of the problems are going to go away. And I wanted to take the time to talk more in depth about juicing and the fact that you actually have to change your lifestyle with juicing in order for you to live a healthier lifestyle or prosper. So one of the things that I find is so annoying is people that they want like an easy way out, right? You tell them that you can lose 5 pounds in a day and they will go for that, right? But there isn't anything wrong, don't get me wrong. I know that traditionally we have heard that you should lose 1 or 2 pounds a day and all of these stuff, right? I don't believe any of that because I've done experiments where I've lost like literally 3 pounds in a day, burning pure body fat, but I won't get into that right now because I've experienced a lot with body fat loss and like pushing your body to extremes and seeing what happens to it than just listening to what textbooks say or what this person say without even trying it. I'm all for trying things. But with juicing, like I've noticed that some people are not, their intentions are not to change their lifestyle, right? And the reason why I'm in this business is because I really want to, like how I started was I had my second child and I was over 250 pounds and I needed something to help me get down my weight or at least change my mindset about food. I've tried so many different diets. I've even done the Master Cleanse. I've done so many other diets out there. And a little bit of background is that I've always been into nutrition since like high school. I've always had a passion for nutrition. So this isn't accidental. This is not something that I've just decided to do one day. It's something that has been embedded in me for a while. And when I've tried everything and I couldn't lose the weight, go to different doctors, my skin was bad, I just kept gaining weight, I was depressed. I also had postpartum depression from both of my kids. So I needed something to happen. I needed to change what I was doing. And I was never someone that was big on fast food. Like my mom, she has never like ordered like pizza and never really had cookies and chips and stuff in the house. So she's all, and like my mom, if she's making pasta, there's like a whole bunch of vegetable in the pasta, and there's always been like some sort of routine or structure in terms of my eating when I came here when I was like 10 or 11 years old. The thing about that was after I had my daughter, a lot of things were not how I wanted it to be. So I've had a C-section for both of my kids, and that alone I had like this perfect birth plan and all of this stuff, and then I ended up having C-sections, and it really derailed all of my plans and stuff like that. So anyways, so I've had my daughter and I'm trying to get back to myself. I'm like over 250 pounds and I needed to do something. So one day I was reading, and this is where do your own research comes in. So a while back, I saw an episode on the Oprah show that discussed a man that was living a raw lifestyle, and he was juicing like his meals and stuff like that. And I was intrigued then, but I never thought that I would be someone that would be doing this today. So I'm like, okay, so I've done the master cleanse, and the problem with that, it's a good cleanse. Like, I think that everyone should cleanse. The problem with that was I wanted a wider range of nutrients instead of just doing the maple syrup, cayenne pepper, because I also suffer from anemia. So I wanted something that would sustain me so I won't go into deficit of like my vital nutrients and stuff like that and vitamins. So then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go into juicing. I did my research, and I learned a lot about food and how it affects how you think and how you live from day to day. So I remember telling my husband, like, okay, I put this juicer on hold. I need you to pick it up. He picked it up, brought it home, and that next day I just started juicing. Before you know it, it was like 60 days, and I was down like maybe 55 pounds, and all of the health problems that I've had went away. So the thing about that is it didn't stop there. So fast forward, I start culinary school and like culinary nutrition management. And the thing about that program was the first year it's a program where you can say 70 to 80% is theory, where you learn about nutrition, and then about the rest of it you go into the lab and then you prepare food. But in order for us to know how to prepare healthy foods, they basically give you a manual that have like regular food, regular fats, regular protein, regular carbs, and stuff like that, like different food groups. And then we have to learn how to modify and make it healthier, right? That's like my program. So we do like food science, we do like other nutrition classes, a lot of it. It's a really good program. I really liked it. It was accidental, but I really liked that program. I think that's what I should have done from the very beginning instead of doing marketing and everything else that I've done. But anyway, when I did the program, like maybe a year or 2 years ago, I've gained weight. And the reason why I've gained weight was because just being a mom and like going back to school and the stress of that, like stress really affect my eating. So that's the reason why, like, when I talk or when I put a caption on my Instagram, I don't want anyone to feel like I'm attacking them. I'm coming from a place where I know I've been, and I already know the cycle of how like a lot of our minds work, where I thought I would do 60-day juice cleanse, I would lose all of the weight, and then life just continues, right? But one thing I've learned is that juicing is not a miracle. And it's because if this isn't 100% of your lifestyle, it doesn't have to be 100%, but if it's not a major part of your lifestyle, then it's pointless. Like, I have people coming to me saying, "Oh, I need help with I'm taking heart medication, or I have this problem. Can you do a juice for me?" Yes, I can. I can do the research and I can do that for you. But what else are you doing? Like, I have customers that buy juices from me that they drink one juice and they think that they're better. And that's not how it works. Like, you really have to commit to this lifestyle, right? And you have to change your lifestyle. And I've always said that juicing isn't a life sentence, but it's a way to jumpstart, or an unconventional way to jumpstart a healthier lifestyle. So the thing is that I know that life is hard. Like, I'm a mom, I'm an entrepreneur, I run like two businesses, and I know it's hard, right? But the thing is, what I've learned is that we need to stop putting our health in other people's hands. Like, we need to, if you have a problem, right? You can actually do the research yourself, find out what works for you, and actually go based on that. Now, the reason why I talked about confirmation biases is that when I started juicing, and that was a long time ago, before juicing was even like so widespread, so widespread, or so penetrated in the market, is that there were no information on juicing. There were hardly any information on juicing. So a lot of the things that I know, all of my knowledge, all the things that I know, I've had to experiment it myself. Like, I had to experiment, I have to try. There are certain things that fail. I know what worked, what doesn't work, and that's how I was able to build Juice Wealthies, because I've actually done it. Like, I'm not like these other companies that sell you a product and none of them have ever even tried it. Like, my passion is in this. So that's the reason why, like, sometimes when I see that you're not putting in the effort where I know it can actually change your life, it makes me sad, because I want to see change. Like, I want to see, you take a different approach, right? So the thing is that and that's how, like, going back to it not being a miracle, is that, so when I was in culinary school, I started from coming from a vegan diet for 6-7 years. I went back to a mainstream way of eating. So I was eating regular, because we're cooking and butchering chicken in lab, and I don't want to waste food. So then I'm eating the chicken that I made. And it's like, because again, like, when I was plant-based, or I wasn't 100, I've only done it for dietary reasons. So I'm not like a hardcore vegan, I don't eat meat, and I care for animals, but I mean, like, I will wear fur coat or whatever like that. So it's basically like dietary changes, not like ethical and that kind of stuff. So I started eating mainstream again, not like paying attention. The craziest thing is that when I was plant-based, I never counted calories or none of that. I was just eating freely, like, just carb it up, and then once I went back to the mainstream way of eating, I basically blew up. Like, I gained like 30 pounds, right? So this is why it goes back to, juicing is not a magic pill. And, it's something that you literally have to commit to, right? And even if you've done a juice cleanse, say like you've been eating the standard diet, I recommend a juice cleanse to everyone. Everyone should do a juice cleanse at least 4 times a year. A 3-day minimum juice cleanse at least 4 times a year. The reality is, like, we consume so much toxins. Our body is like going through so much, and like, you're not gonna like die like taking a break or a step back and just like treating your body with high, nutrition dense foods, right? And I firmly believe that everyone should do it. Like, I do it 4 times a year. I do short ones, I do long ones, depending on how I feel. And how a lot of times, like, I have clients that have done long-term cleanses with me, because I focus a lot on extended cleanse. I work weeks after weeks with clients, and they feel great, right? They feel great. And then they feel great to a point where, like, okay, well, now I can have cake, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm all about living, and I'm all about life, right? So it's like, You can have cake, but then you feel so great of the progress, and you're fitting great into your clothes again, and then you become comfortable and you go right back into the same things that caused you to needed me in the first place, right? And the problem with that is that you just, it's a cycle that just keeps happening, right? I have like clients that I work with months on end, and they've made so much great progress. Their skin has improved, their endurance has improved, they have lost weight, they're feeling great, everything like that. And then all of that is out the window because they feel like, oh yeah, I can just go back to eating normal. And my question has always been, what's normal? Normal is what get you to where you are. Normal is what is normal to you, right? And that's the thing, like if we want long-term changes, we have to commit to something. And when I started Juice Wealthy, like my passion was an unconventional approach to a healthy lifestyle, right? Because when I launched Juice Wealthy, in the beginning, a lot of people were talking about juicing is bad, juicing is a fad, juicing is this. And this was coming from people that have never done a juice cleanse. Like I even had dietitian as professors, and they would say, "Well, I don't recommend juicing." And it's like, have you even tried it? How could you not recommend something you've never tried because the textbook says something? Like I can't listen to people like that. Like I honestly can't. Like how, like if you know how I struggled and to how well I've become, like juicing, like my doctor couldn't believe the result of my test results and stuff, and it's like, if I haven't done it, if I didn't take that jump and go into it, then I would have never known. I would have just listened to professionals that say, oh yeah, that's bad for you, it's a fad diet, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. And again, it's all about confirmation biases, right? It's like you can go on the internet and search for juicing is good. You would get articles of people that have healed themselves with juicing. You say juicing is bad, and then you hear these professionals talk about juicing that have never done it. It's a crazy world that we live in. And again, who do you listen to? Right? You're fat and you're sick, right? And you're on the internet trying to confirm a bias to keep you in the same position that you're in. That shit doesn't even make any sense. Like things like that is hilarious to me. It's like, oh yeah, well, I've read that juicing is bad for you, while I'm holding my cigarette in my right hand and my Starbucks in the left. Like it doesn't even make any sense. So I just laugh at things like that. And another thing I wanted to talk about was the fact that so I put up a post in this group on Facebook, and I wanted feedback to find out like some information. And one of the things that they said was there was this controversy still out there that says why juice when you can just eat the fruits and vegetables, right? I have no problem with people eating fruits and vegetables. The problem with that is people are not doing it. If people were eating fruits and vegetables, we wouldn't be in a health crisis right now. Like a lot of people are dying from things that could be avoided. Things that they say, oh, my grandparents died of this, now I have it. My uncle died of that, now I have it. And all of this could be prevented. All you have to do is change your diet and change your life. But are you willing to put in that work? And I am not a conventional juice company. I work closely with clients, and a lot of my clients are referrals, right? So at the end of the day, like I'm not dying, to work with someone, but I would love to have someone that really wants to see change, not someone that has like a wedding to go to in 30 days and they want a fasting, and then after the wedding, they blow up like a pig. Like, what's the point of that? Like really change your life, change your diet, and this is where I'm coming from. You know, yes, you can eat fruits and vegetable. The problem is we're not eating it. You know, and my niche is that I know that no matter how healthy something is, if it doesn't taste good, you're not going to do it long term. And I've learned that when I was doing my digital plans and doing group challenges years ago. So I know that, you know, in order for you to want to continue to do it, there's the reason why I create cleanses the way I've done cleanses, and the reason why they're successful. You know, I've never had anyone done my cleanse and they give me a feedback where, oh yeah, I never got results, or I felt like this, or I felt like that. They always feel better after it. You know, because I've done it. I've done every cleanse out there. I've also done other, before Juice Wealthy was a thing, I was doing other juice company cleanses in Toronto. So I have my experience is really is out there, you know, and you know, I take my time when I'm developing a cleanse or when I'm working closely with clients to make sure that it fulfill their needs and things like that. So again, like, you have to remember that juicing isn't like a miracle pill that you're going to drink one bottle today and then all of your problems are going to go away. It's something that you really have to commit to. It's something that you have to really commit to. And the thing is that there's nothing wrong with having one juice, right? But if you're having one juice and you're eating, let's say, KFC for lunch, you know, and you're ordering pizza for dinner, what's the point of that? You know, what's the point of that? Like, it makes no sense. And another thing is that, like, people would argue with you. I've seen a lot of, like, different Instagram posts of, like, people that count their macros and lifting weights and all of that. I can probably burn more body fat than all of them doing all of that crap. Like literally, like, it's so crazy how, like, I look at how people do things and I'm like, oh, I can do this faster, you know, without all of that extra stuff. But that's a different topic. Anyway, like I was saying, you have to want change, right? I make juices taste great, but you have to want to. Like, I cannot drink the juices for you, right? And you cannot use it as some sort of band-aid that is gonna solve a problem immediately for you, right? You have to. A lot of us have food addiction issues. A lot of us, I've realized, like, for me, because I grew up very poor in Grenada, and a lot of times didn't have food, didn't have dinner. So my relationship with food as an adult has been affected based on my childhood, right? So I always go back to, like, how childhood trauma can affect your relationship with food and how you view food, right? So again, like, the way that I am now as an adult, I know that there are other people out there that are like me, that are struggling with the same problems, right? Right? But again, I'm going to talk about that in another episode. You know, how childhood trauma affects our relationship with food, you know, but that's next subject. But again, like, I wanted to stick on that, where juicing is not a miracle, and if you really want this to work for you, you really have to change your mindset and actually do this for the long term. And again, you can read more on juicewealthy.com. Like, comment, and subscribe. I just wanted to ramble about this randomness that goes through my mind sometimes. And yeah.